fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Welcome to Filmoscopy, a quaint little podcast where three best friends go on a magical journey of watching movies and then shitting all over them. Today's episode from Filmoscopy will be covering a variety of subjects, but the main subject will be Morbius.
Morpheus.
This is where we'll have Cody cut in that clip of the thing. It's like, it's Morbin time, and the crowd goes, yeah! I am today's host with really the most, Lance. And my co-host today is Co, and I'm not going to say D because his name isn't important enough to finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the host at the post.
He's at the host at the post. So, Co, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
I hope I remember to call you Co throughout the rest of the episode. Just like, Co. It's gonna be like a joke that lasts for like 2 minutes on the podcast, and I'm just like Cody, like an idiot. All right, and Owen, can you say hello all the way from Sparta, Mississippi?
Hello, all the way from Sparta, Mississippi.
Woo!
Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are recording this a week before Christmas. So it's going to get released in I think January. Not January, probably February.
This is a holiday episode. The holiday Morbius episode.
Yeah, it is. It's the movie that keeps on giving.
The long-awaited as well.
Long-awaited Morbius.
Yeah, long like
but,
Morbius' juicy vampiric cock.
Oh, God. So if this episode gets released in February, it's probably a Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Have a morb. Think of morb.
As have a Morbin holiday.
Yeah, have a Morbin Valentine's Day.
So real quick, before we jump into Morbius, me and Cody, and maybe Owen may not even care, but we're going to have a quick little discussion of all the bullshit that's going on at DC Films. And their cleverly renamed cinematic universe, the DCU. Like, okay.
Did it.
You know, they just released, as of recording this, 2 days ago, they released Black Adam on HBO Max. And that was a movie that brought back Henry Cavill as Superman. Everybody was excited. And now 2 months later, after they announced his return, they're going to scrap everything after the next set of movies that's coming out, which are the movies they've already made, which is Flash 2, Aquaman 2, and Shazam 2. And, the DC hired their quote-unquote figurehead, which is James Gunn. And if you recognize him, he did the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie will be coming out later on next year, but he did the 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he did that really shitty Suicide Squad movie. That's my opinion, not Cody's. Cody's like, hey, I like that movie. So it's frustrating for me. Oh God, it's frustrating for me because I'm not saying the Zack Snyder films were perfect because they weren't, but they were different from Marvel. And if you've watched all the Marvel movies, they all have a similar feeling to them, which is fine. I mean, it's all one big universe, but they all kind of blend together. I said the story, I don't know how long it's been now. Since it's been before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness came out, when me and Cody talked about it. So it's been, I think, fucking April. I haven't watched a Marvel movie since then. Because me and my girlfriend Savannah watched all the movies up to Endgame, and we got to Endgame, and me and her were kind of
burnt the fuck out.
Yeah, we're like, okay, we're kind of done with this right now. We'll go back to it. It's been almost 8 months, and we're not going to go back to it. But the DC movies were different. And the DC movies that tried to be like Marvel were the worst ones. Like Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 1984, the Josh Whedon, what do you call it? Justice League movie, where he was trying to literally make it like Avengers. Like, all that shit sucked. I enjoyed, the movies that Zack Snyder put out because they were different. And now they've hired James Gunn to be the quote-unquote figurehead, the Kevin Feige of the whole cinematic universe. And he's literally writing the new Superman movie. So he's doing the exact same thing Zack Snyder was doing. And my biggest complaint, and Cody will chime in with like his thoughts here in a moment, but my biggest complaint is every fucking movie that's going to come out in this DCU is going to be just like fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Because the Suicide Squad was literally Guardians of the Galaxy 2.5. There was nothing different about it. So, yeah, that's my biggest thing. I just like, it's frustrating. I know people are like, oh, those are really good movies. Yeah, you can enjoy those movies and it's fine. To be quite honest with you, the general public, especially me, wasn't familiar with the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. So that's okay. But I just have a feeling that his movies are all going to end up running the same, and it's not going to be good. Because, like, Taika Waititi. I said his first name wrong. The guy who did Thor Ragnarok and then Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder was more of the same humor that was in Ragnarok, but a lot of people were like, okay, but this is kind of the same. We wanted something just a tad bit different. So, it's one of those things. I have a feeling that these movies, it's not going to work out because there's quote-unquote two figureheads leading DC, and eventually there's going to be a power struggle again. So it's all, and by the time they get this shit straightened out, I really think the comic book movies are not going to be as popular as they were, especially DC. I just think they've lost too much ground. They're never going to get potentially equal, or at least a half of the way to what Marvel's done, I don't even think they're going to get halfway to what fucking Sony's done with the Venom movies. Because the Venom movies have made over like $1.3 billion together by themselves. Anyway, Cody, what are your thoughts about it, good sir?
So I'm kind of mixed on it, right? Like, I like James Gunn. Like you said, I like that movie. But for the Suicide Squad, but I don't. It's really going to come down to how much direct control James Gunn has with the scripts. Like, can he? I mean, obviously, yes, he's writing the Superman movie, but is he going to have a hand in everything to that level of detail, or is he going to be able to like have himself step back and be like Kevin Feige, where he's just kind of sitting back analyzing, or like sorting everything out, being like, okay, this doesn't fit with this movie, it needs to be changed, whatever. As far as scrapping everything, it sucks because it was like, okay, Henry Cavill's coming back and it's gonna be cool, but it does make sense because James Gunn is coming in and the DC extended universe was just a complete shit show overall. It's like you said, a lot of the recent movies,
I would say that's Warner Brothers. That's not so much Zack Snyder.
Well, no.
And these are the people in charge of Warner Brothers.
Right, yeah, and it spawned off of, oh, well, we're going to fire Zack and then bring in this other guy, Joss Whedon, to try and what they thought was fix the Justice League, which, as the final result showed, was not the case. And then they just kind of like threw everything out, and it's like, then they kind of went to this direction of, okay, everything's going to be loosely connected because we don't really want it to be a super, like, a really tight-knit universe like we were originally planning. And, then of course Discovery came, like the Discovery merger happened, and they had one guy hired to be in charge of it, and then he backed out, and they canceled a bunch of projects, and now it's just like, okay, it's probably easier for someone to come in, James Gunn in this case, to come in and just be like, all right, get rid of everything. We need to start over so that it's cohesive. Granted, if they start putting out these movies that James Gunn is directly involved with, like Superman or whatever else that they have planned, and they start flopping in their mind, then it's all going to be scrapped and we're going to be right back in the same situation again. But when you look at the internet discussion over DC EU films over the years, a lot of people have basically, as much as it sucks for like people like you and me who really did like Zack Snyder's vision, the majority of people are probably wanting more Marvel, as much as that sucks. And bringing in a guy who worked on several Marvel movies and understands how Marvel operates, that's probably the closest that they're going to get. And it could be that it's like, if it flops, then they're like, okay, well, we tried the Marvel approach for this and it doesn't work, so we need to find something else. But I don't know that we'll ever get DC to the DC universe to the point where it lasts for like 15 or 20 years, because Warner Brothers always just fumbles everything around and can never really like stick to a vision long enough to try and get it sorted out. Because let's not pretend like the first few Marvel movies weren't just average. Like, yeah, people were in love with Iron Man.
They started. Here's the thing, though, but like that part, DC had, and they didn't have it because they didn't plan it. The Dark Knight trilogy is what kicked off. I understand that you had the X-Men movies. The first X-Men movie really kicked off the comic book craze.
Right.
And then Spider-Man came out, X-Men 2 came out, Spider-Man 2 came out. And then by the time you got to X-Men 3, that movie was kind of overbloated, and people were just kind of like, okay, well, where's the rest of the people? It just wasn't it wasn't as good as the first two. And then you had Spider-Man 3, which was obviously the shits. But around 2005, when X-Men 3 came out, you had Batman Begins come out. So X-Men went as far as it could when it comes to popularity. And then you had Batman Begins, and then the Dark Knight movie, which is the first comic book movie to gross over $1 billion. Yeah. And then, like, everything after that, that was the movie everybody wanted their movie to be like. Like, Hugh Jackman wanted the Wolverine movies to be like The Dark Knight. Kevin Feige and, the guy who plays Happy, James Favreau. When they made Iron Man, they took a lot of inspiration from what Christopher Nolan did with Batman Begins, and they've said that in interviews. I'm not making this up. They wanted that grounded, realistic approach, but still be comic booky, because they wanted to be different from the Batman movies. But, DC had The Dark Knight, and then 4 years later they had The Dark Knight Rises, which also crossed $1 billion. But the only problem is, by that time happening, Marvel had gained a foothold, and then they had the first Avengers movie come out the same year, and it grossed $1 billion. And then they just took off from there. Yeah. And the next year, Zach was trying to do, I would say, an ambitious story. A lot of people were like, well, this is not really Superman. He was trying to do a 5-movie arc for Henry Cavill's Superman, for him to become the Superman we all knew. So he put out Man of Steel, and it didn't make that much money. And then Batman vs. Superman came out, and that's when I remember hearing a lot of the dissension. Because, Cody, me and you went to go see Batman vs. Superman.
Right.
And we also saw, if you remember that same year, Captain America Civil War, which was pitting Captain America versus Iron Man.
Yeah.
And that movie grossed over $1 billion. And the problem is, everybody thought, Batman vs. Superman was going to be like this huge fucking movie. Well, Cody will tell you, because he's watched it. If you watch the 3-hour uncut, and I don't think it's uncut.
Ultimate Edition.
The director's cut of Batman vs. Superman, it makes way more sense than what you got in theaters. What you got in theaters is really fucking confusing, is they cut out 30 minutes. And Zack Snyder can't tell a story under 3 hours that's comprehensive. I'm going to be honest with that. But, they had like all this, and then you heard all these things like, Warner Brothers hates the Zack Snyder stuff, and they just absolutely fucking were like trying to sabotage him at this point. He was making Justice League. Unfortunately, his daughter passed away, and then he had to step away from the project. But see, Zack Snyder actually brought Josh Whedon on himself for help. But then Warner Brothers was like, let's just move him to director. And then obviously he completely like shit all over what Zack did, and that movie fucking flopped. But James Gunn, hopefully he can do something with it. But like you said, Cody, you mentioned this. Can he delegate to other movie directors? Like, can he pick, like, this is what we want story going forward. This is what you need to do, like Kevin Feige does. I don't think he can, because he's a director. He's not a producer. Right. Kevin Feige has never been a director in his life. He's never been a writer in his life. Kevin Feige was the comic book nerd who was the executive producer on all the X-Men movies, on all the Spider-Man movies, and then obviously he started the Marvel movies. But the thing is, if he's an executive producer, and he worked with Fox and Sony on those movies. Like, he didn't have a contract with them, I guess. He was working with Avi Arad, the guy who's still in control of Sony when it comes to the Spider-Man movies. But it's become a thing, like, you know, he treats everything with such respect to the source material, and he loves comics, and everybody just kind of like, you know, Marvel was that little engine that could, and everybody's behind it now. And now they're kind of tapering off. Like, I mean, they're still making $900 million at the box office. But it's not, you know, they weren't making the money they were because, to be honest with you, people aren't going to the movie theaters anymore.
Yeah.
And
well, I know me personally, like, and I think Owen and I talked a little bit on this. I think the last time we recorded, when we first started talking about the whole James Gunn thing. But for me, I think I'm finally hitting that wall, like a lot of people already have, that where they're just kind of tired of superhero movies all the time. There's too many of them. And, you know, like I've said before, out of everything coming out on the DC side, the only two that really interest me enough to where I will definitely just be like, okay, I will go to the theater and see that, is the Batman 2 and Joker 2. But hell, it'll be a year or two before either one of those come out. And
yeah, I think the Batman 2 said it's coming out in 2025.
Gosh, but on the Marvel side, looking at next year, the only movie I think that they have slated for next year that I'll probably go to the theater for is Guardians 3. Because, like, you know, all the other ones are like, okay, fine, I'll just wait 2 or 3 months until it's on Disney Plus and just watch it then. I didn't go see Black Panther. I didn't go see Black Adam. You know, I'm not going to go see Ant-Man, which is the next Marvel movie to come out.
You don't want to see Paul Rudd, bro?
I like Paul Rudd, but it's just I'm not interested enough to go to the theater and see it. Like, I'll just wait.
Sorry, Paul Rudd.
It's not Paul Rudd's fault. I mean, like, I like Paul Rudd. Like I said,
it's all his fault. He's just, it's so funny. The only reason I bring him up is it's just always funny that he's like a lead superhero, you know?
Hey, I love Paul Rudd. Okay?
I know, I like Paul Rudd too, but like every time I see him, I think a 40-year-old virgin.
And I look at him, he's the Kansas City Chiefs fan that's in like the big time movies. I'm like, I love this guy. Real quick question. We'll wrap it up in a second. Owen, did you have any thoughts on this whole DC thing? Like, I understand you weren't a huge fan of, you know, the Snyder movies, but, you know, I don't know if you've ever laid down a concrete opinion.
Of, like, DC in general? I really haven't watched enough of it to really tabulate any kind of opinion on it. I don't know. They just never really interest me that much. I mean, I watched the Batman, you know, and I've watched
the Dark Knight movies.
Yeah, you know, I've watched the Dark Knight, but I guess that's not even what we're talking about. Really, we're talking about, like, you know, the current like the DC expanded universe and the Snyderverse and shit. And like I said, none of that stuff's Marvel has a hard time interesting me. And is slowly, you know, just like Cody said, I'm getting tired of seeing superhero movies. And you know, DC, I don't know. I like some of their heroes, but you know, I really don't feel like going out to watch movies about them, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Anyway, we'll get off this negative subject and go to a movie. I'm pretty sure Martin Scorsese rated 2 thumbs up and 5 golden stars. Apocalypse Now. Are you guys ready to talk about Apocalypse Now again?
Of course, we're talking about.
Now we're going to be talking about
the greatest movie
Morbius.
ever made.
The greatest movie ever made. I know my best friend Alex, who is co-host and co-founder of the I'll Take 3 podcast. Shout out to them.
I'll Take 3
with his
what?
brother Jacob. Babies. I'll take 3 babies. He co-hosts the show with his wife Kristen and his brother Jacob, and they do a really good job. Go check out them if you want, because they do probably a better job hosting the show than I do. But Cody and Owen are pretty solid, so stick with us.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
But Yeah, of course, man. I suck at this shit. I'm the one that brings the entertainment. I'm like, yeah, guys, this is funny, right? You get the joke? Huh? Did you get the joke? But we're doing Morbius today, and Alex has said he hated this movie.
Morbius.
And
isn't that like Cody? Isn't that like a musical like called Victorious or some shit?
Well,
Notorious.
When I do it, I always think of there's a wrestler that has like an intro.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
It's
Bobby Roode.
Yeah, it
Glorious.
doesn't say. What does it say?
I think it says glorious.
Glorious. Yeah, that's what I always.
Yeah, and that's every time you do it, I always knew that's where you're getting it from. I'll have to get some sound clips so we can put this in this episode so people know what we're talking about because they prefer the sound clips, Cody. Anyway, so we're doing Morbius. I picked this movie because I thought it would be funny. We were in the midst of Cody picking his movies, and he picked The Witch, and then he picked Lighthouse, and then he picked The Northman. And those are Robert Eggers movies. I'm over here thinking, well, the Robert Eggers is like an acclaimed director. And his movies were critically acclaimed, but they didn't make a bunch of movies, which is fine.
He's not
I think if you're
as acclaimed as whoever the fuck directed Morbius.
Oh yeah, exactly. But he I lost my.
Sorry.
No. I was staring at the TV. I'm like, I need some fantasy points, and this shit ain't working for me. Well, anyway, so we get to the Morpheus movie. No, I'm just kidding, Morbius.
Yeah, you picked. You said you picked Morbius because it made more money, I think, than all of Robert Eggers' movies.
If you combine the box office totals from The Northman to
The Witch,
The Lighthouse, and to The Witch, it did not make the amount of money that matched Morbius. I think if you add the money together those movies made, it probably made like close to 105, maybe 110 million altogether, and Morbius made 160 million altogether.
Yeah. And
Morbius, it's funny because like Robert Eggers' worst movie is like an 88 on Rotten Tomatoes, and Morbius has a 15 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Actually, I think it has like the user score is like a 10, right?
No, the audience score is 71, but that's a lot of people being ironic.
Yeah, because there's 10-star movies and there's 10-star reviews, and it's like this movie is the greatest movie ever made.
But to be fair, the next day, like before it became a meme, it had like 500 verified user reviews, and it had a 64% on the audience score, but it had a 15 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is insane.
Now,
that is ridiculous.
It is insane.
What do you mean? Like it's ridiculous that they rated it so lowly, or that it's like ranged too high, or the difference? What do you
exactly?
Mean? Okay, just the difference.
Exactly. It's all of it. You know, it's all of it. Because it's like this movie. It's going to be a discussion here. Like this movie is.
I know we don't normally give reviews like scores. We don't usually do that, but I'd say if I had to give it one, it'd be like a 4 or a 5, like somewhere in that area.
Out of
10 or 15.
No, out of 10.
Yeah,
out of 5. No, out of 3, dude.
It's 4 out of 3, baby. What the fuck you talking about?
This shit's 5 out of 3. This fucking shit's great.
It's funny because I don't think it's that bad of a movie. It's not the worst comic book movie ever made, as people have pointed it out. No. I think it's become a meme, and people want to make fun of it because they hate Sony. Like, literally, the hatred of this movie. Like, the hatred of it existing, because if it wasn't a Sony movie, if this was a Marvel movie, I don't think it would be... I don't think it would be written as bad, but I think people hate Sony for having Spider-Man.
I think if it was a Marvel movie, though, it would also just be... The thing is I don't think most people went into this movie even really knowing that Morbius is, like, a Spider-Man villain.
Oh, if you've seen the trailer to it, you would know, because they had a bunch of Spider-Man references in the trailer, because they were going to have some Spider-Man shit in this movie, because they were trying
because it was coming
with the Marvel.
It was coming out at the same time as fucking
No Way Home.
Yeah, so they were trying to cash in on that.
Isn't
Yeah.
there
Oh,
a
it's
poster?
100%.
Isn't there a poster or something in the movie, or maybe it's just in the trailer? But
It's in the trailer. There's a poster of Spider-Man next to Morbius as he's walking.
Yeah, they're the same, dude.
It's 100%. And this movie is 100% a cash grab, and it's 100%. And I will say this: I do appreciate them like spotlighting like a character that, you know, otherwise I think most people know this character from the Spider-Man animated series, which had heavy censorship, and he was a vampire, but he couldn't bite somebody's. Yeah, he had suckers on his hand. He'd suck out their plasma.
Well, that originates in the comic books, because when Morbius was created, the comic book code prohibited like anything, basically anything
Sucking.
horror related, and specifically it was like something anything undead.
That's stupid.
Yeah, he couldn't be undead. That's why he's a living vampire. But the suckers on his hand, that wasn't in the comics.
Oh, that's from that is from the animated series. You're right.
Yeah, it's from that, because I've heard like people talk about it on that show, because I'm a huge fan of that show.
Originally, the idea was
that's
Morbius
why he like give out hand jobs.
Yeah. originally the concept was he would get the blood by sucking the blood out of their cocks.
Oh god.
they had to turn that down for the comics. It was too much.
That is funny. I had some other joke. I'm like, I'm not going there. Like, thank you, Owen, for giving me thoughts. Anyway,
you're welcome.
But this movie, it's 100% like they're trying to cash in, because I think Morbius is
cynical cash grab is.
It is, and the thing is, it wasn't written really well. There's a lot in this movie that's been cut out. I would be curious to see how the movie would be if it wasn't cut out. And it's one of those things that you sit there and go, I wish this movie was better, because there's a few moments in this movie you're like, okay, that actually kind of worked. Like some of when he's on the boat. I'm on a boat, man. When he's on the boat.
We're on a boat.
And when he's on the boat and he becomes a vampire, now that's straight out of his origin comic book.
Yeah.
And and some of that horror stuff is really good, and I think the CGI in Morbius's face is really good.
Yeah, it would definitely be really cool if they did lean into it. That's the biggest thing I think I have against this movie is that you have he's a vampire, like there's a million vampires, but it's a pretty unique superhero here, and he don't really do anything with it. It's like the same story I've seen 100 times from other, it's the same beats, and I think they could lean into that horror element a lot more. And sure, they do it like there's that one shot with the nurse, which was totally just a scene made to go into a trailer, where the lights are fucking flickering off and shit. And yeah, it's kind of dumb that the lights do that. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it still looks cool. But they don't really lean into that in the movie or anything. And even about the boat, like, one of the things that really strikes me about this movie is that a lot of times things just kind of happen like that. So I remember watching it, and then I just remember suddenly he was on a boat. And I remember I don't remember them really saying anything about it. Maybe it's something I missed.
Well, but this comes back to like when Lance and I talked about this months ago, right? There's pacing issues, and a lot of the pacing issues. When you watch this movie, it feels like the movie was supposed to be 30 minutes longer, and the studio went in and they're just like hacked shit out of it.
Like, all of a sudden, there's no, like, establishing shot or anything. Like, okay, so he's in the boat, he does an SOS, and then it just fucking cuts to the outside of the boat, he's jumping off of it. Like, they're just like, there's no, like, you don't see anything from the character's point of view. He's like, fuck, I gotta jump off this fucking boat, or anything like that. He just jumps off the it's like a comedy. It's like a fucking, it's like something you would see as a joke, where, like, cuts to the next shot and he's falling off the fucking boat. Like the pacing really stood out to me in this movie.
It feels like Cody was saying, like, there was a lot in this movie that was cut out. And I think it's a lot of the Spider-Man stuff. I do think the movie wasn't written really well. I don't think the director did a bad job with this movie. I think he was limited working with what he could do. I think Jared Leto was probably really weird on set. I think he used those canes for real to do his method acting. I had to have somebody come into the bathroom with me. Like, hey, man, Jared's like, go in the bathroom with Lance. But Jared had people go in the bathroom with him to help him. He's a weird dude. But I don't think this movie is that fucking bad. Like I don't think the people that worked on it did a bad job. I think the writers were just like, it's a lot of like fucking. It feels like a '90s like movie, but not as good.
Yeah,
it's not as bad to me as the Justice League movie or Wonder Woman 84. I would watch this movie over Wonder Woman 84 100 times out of 100.
Yeah. So, sorry, just to jump in here,
no, you're good.
Touching on the pacing issues again. A lot of times when a film has pacing issues, it comes down to the movie is too slow, right? Like, there's just way too much in there. It's like, okay, you could have trimmed some of the stuff out to make it a little bit quicker. This movie goes a mile a minute, and
it's anemic. This movie's anemic.
Right, and it goes so fast, but there's no substance to it. So, like, yeah, it's going fast, and you're getting through the film or whatever, but for what purpose?
Yeah.
And especially, like, I think one of the most egregious examples of poor pacing is Milo's, like, heel turn, basically.
Yeah, he's just like,
he's
like, they've been vampires for a day, and he's like, acknowledge what you are. He's just fucking killing people left and right.
Yeah, like, I understand he's a vampire. Like, the whole idea is, he's a vampire, he's new, he's got this, he's basically on a power trip, right? Because he spent his whole life being, sickly and not able to really do anything. But show at least some sort of, like, build up to him being this way, instead of him being like, yeah, I'm still sick, I'm really depending on you to find this cure, and then he steals the cure or whatever, or, the, in quotes, cure. And then he's like, oh, I'm a vampire now, I'm going to go murder everybody, It doesn't really flow well in that way.
No, it's, like I said, I wish, man, and there was supposed to be, I think, what's his name? God, what's that guy's name? Michael Keaton was supposed to have a bigger part in this movie. And because there's that scene where he gets put into when he's leaving the jail. It's in the trailer. He goes, hey, Doc, I think me and you need to hook up sometime. And it's literally like there's no Morbius in that scene when he's getting hauled away at the end for his bonus scene, and then they show up at the end. It's really weird. We're going to have to see.
There's a lot of weird. Like, even from the trailers, you can see a lot of stuff was cut out.
Yeah. This movie, they played a song in the trailer. People are strange. I can't remember how the song goes, but it's a cover of the song from the Lost Boys.
Yeah, it's a Doors.
That was on
song.
the Lost Boys soundtrack from. Yeah, okay. So that was literally put in the Lost Boys back in the 80s, and 87 I think the movie came out in. But so that was a nod to that. I'm like, okay, it's cool because I like vampire shit. I think it's cool.
Yeah, vampires are cool, but this
especially in Twilight.
Yeah, especially in Twilight. Really cool.
Hey, I would watch this movie over any of the Twilight movies.
Oh yeah, me too.
You're right. Yeah, damn, you're right.
So would you recommend it? Yeah.
I'm like at the end of this, we're gonna do a would you rather like we used to do.
I think there was something that we forgot to say. We should have. So I guess we should just go ahead and get this out of the way. Is this so? Have you guys watched this movie before?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Owen, have you ever seen this movie before this?
No, this is my first viewing.
Okay, Owen, Cody, have you ever watched this before?
Yeah, we went to the theater and saw it.
Okay.
Okay, Lance, have you watched it before? No. No, I have watched it. No, I watched it in theaters. I drug Savannah to it, and we watched it one time. Like I said, I saw Venom: Let There Be Carnage in the theaters twice, just because I was trying to support it. It's not. This movie's actually longer than both the Venom movies. You know, those movies are like 90 minutes, 91 minutes. This movie is an hour, which, you know, it's not that much. It's an hour and 40 minutes. So it's 100 minutes. So this movie is longer than the Venom movie. You know, this movie could have been interesting. I'm gonna get into the facts here in just a minute. This movie could have been interesting. Like, more so. Like, I watched it the second time. Like, this is probably the fourth time I watched the movie. Like, when I watched it. Because I watched it twice for the podcast. Just to make sure I had the plot. And as I'm talking, I can't remember any of the plot. It's one of, like, I don't know, man. I wish this movie was better because I wanted Sony to put out a better showing of it. But the hate for Sony for owning Spider-Man and not giving it to Disney is, like, extremely strong online. I don't know if the general public really cares.
I don't think honestly don't even think the general public probably even knows, honestly.
They know that this is part of the Venom thing, but the biggest thing online, and Cody will sit there and tell you, like, especially online, like, the hate for Venom was really strong. Like, this movie's not going to work without Spider-Man and all this other shit. And then Venom made $850 million. And then people were like, they had, like, nothing they could really, like, they had to shit on. They couldn't shit on anything at that point. Like, it made the money. It did Venom without Spider-Man. But now they want to see Venom with Spider-Man, and now a bunch of Marvel fans are like, no, they're not going to do a good job. And I see people now just like, when I do look online for the subject matter, I don't really do it during the football season because I'm so consumed with football. But, you know, they're like, well, how are they going to introduce the Venom symbiote in the Spider-Man movies? It's like, they literally left a piece of this in the Spider-Man movie. He's going to get that piece somehow. He's going to get the black suit, and then he's going to get sucked into the Venom world, or Venom's going to get sucked in his world. There's going to be a battle. I know. There's going to be a battle, and then there's going to be, you know, Venom's going to get that piece of the suit back from Spider-Man, and he's going to get his white spider, and everybody's going to live happily ever after. We were just talking about, it's like the hate for, like, Sony for owning Marvel. They just expect everybody, they should just give Sony, like, Spider-Man back to Sony or Disney. I'm like, why doesn't Disney buy Sony, buy Spider-Man? The problem is they're not going to, because, you know, Sony has all the cards. They can hold it to where they want to do and make money off of it, or they can sell it back for a shit ton of money. Disney doesn't want to pay that money.
Yeah.
And Disney, Cody, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I just want to make sure that fucking call went through the first time. This podcast is off the rails, just like
it's Thrillville off the rails,
just like this movie. It mimics the movie very well.
Yeah, which is just happening.
But I'll go ahead and get into a little bit of the facts real quick. No way! What the fuck did the Raiders just do? Sorry, I got distracted.
I like when he drinks the artificial cum blood.
Oh god, yeah, it's really funny that it's just blue. I'm like,
oh, is it blue? I thought it was white.
No, it's supposed to be like a light blue, that fake blood he has.
Oh, okay, it must have just been the lighting. It looked like it was white, and I was like, dude, he's drinking cum. He's like, this is the only thing that's similar to blood.
That is pretty fucking funny, though.
Thanks.
They had, I don't know, man. The Morbius stuff, like, I think the Leto stuff isn't bad in this movie. I think the two cops, you know, I think those actors try to be funny and try to bring some life to material. I mean, this is a poorly written movie. The characters are poorly written.
Yeah, there's no character really at all. Like, we don't.
Yeah, and everything's like so fucking rushed.
Like,
you know,
like I have no connection to his like. You don't get any sense of really connection with him, or like is it his girlfriend or his wife or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like no.
I will say this about Sony. Like, when they give a character, they do use a character, like an actual character. Tyrese Gibson's character is actually a very minor character in the Spider-Man comics, who actually hunts Morbius.
Yeah. That's
and then
the cop, right?
Yeah, the cop, Tyrese Gibson's.
I
can't remember the guy who plays his partner. But he is not. His character is not like a mainline comic character. The chick who plays his girlfriend / lab partner is, she actually is like her name is used in the comics. Like, I don't know if that's particularly who his fiance was supposed to be, but that is her name used. So Sony does do that, but this movie, the way it's written and the way it's cut, I think the director did the best he could. Jared Leto, as weird as he did the best he could as Morbius. I think he's fine as Morbius. I wouldn't say he's great like Tom Hardy is as Venom and Eddie Brock, but I think he's fine. And the only problem with this movie is they tried to bowl a 300 in bowling with the guards up. You put the guards up, and there's no way you can get a gutter ball. Yeah. Somehow they did that and still got gutter balls.
Yeah, definitely. I get what you mean.
So it doesn't. Because just doesn't make.
They're trying to make so we live in an era where superhero movies are, they have high expectations. It's not 2002. Where you can shit out like a Catwoman and have it do okay. Well, actually, I guess this did fine in the box office, but
Well, what's really weird, you talk about the box office part, it's really weird. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
this movie made $160 million, but it made $90 million its opening weekend. Yeah. And obviously, I mean, I think if this movie would have made more money if they had a China release.
All the Morb
This movie...
But you have to...
Yeah, the Morb heads, baby.
I guess you have to compare that to the earnings of, films, like similar films. Like, you compare this to fucking Spider-Man, this shit's gonna...
Oh, yeah. I mean... And Sony at this point, they didn't care about this movie. I know everybody's like, "Oh, it's got so much egg on Sony's face." Sony just made almost $2 billion on Spider-Man: No Way Home, and they only give 25% of that cut to Disney. So Sony made 75%, almost $2 billion. And then the Venom movies made, like I talked about that. The Venom movies made $1.3 billion together, both of them. So Sony's not hurting for money. All their other movies lose money, but Spider-Man and obviously the Venom movies have brought in a bunch of fucking money. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get through the facts real quick. Cody, quit tweeting while we're on the podcast.
Yeah, Cody, quit farting.
I'll tweet all I want about my pathetic football team choice.
Hey man, what's real funny is if it continues this way, you and the Jaguars are gonna be playing for the division week 18.
Hell yeah, let's go Jaguars! But yeah, roar. Hell yeah, Jacksonville.
Okay, this movie, just for just a few facts. On Wikipedia, it's listed the budget is $75 to $83 million, which the two Venom movies both had $100 million budgets.
Can you convert that to Morb dollars?
That would be $830 more dollars.
Yeah, the fucking dollar. Yeah, the American dollar inflation compared to Morb dollars is fucking insane.
Okay,
dude.
So the box office was $167.5 million in Morb dollars. That's $167.5 Morb, which is more than billion dollars.
Yeah, more billion. It made a more billion dollars.
It is produced by Sony, Columbia Pictures, and it's directed by Daniel Espinosa. This guy, Daniel Espinosa, has done, I guess, a few Ryan Reynolds movies, because he did a movie called Safe House with Ryan Reynolds. But anywho, he directed this, and then let's just see if there's anything else that's important. The music, which we'll get into, is done by John Ekstrand. And yeah, that's about it. This movie has been extremely ridiculed online, but it became the source of memes. Yeah. You just look up anything Morbius online, you'll find something like a meme, a GIF. There's
just
a fake
look
video
at the reviews.
Put in here.
Literally just go.
Yeah, look at the reviews. The reviews this is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, it's I love it when he morbs on the audience and we all morb and shit like that.
The funny thing is, unfortunately, somebody posted a picture of Martin Scorsese and they did a fake quote saying "This is cinema." Or something like that. And Tyrese Gibson reposted it on Instagram, and then he took it down when someone told him that wasn't real.
And that's not even, I think, the funniest fiasco. I know we've talked about it, but it's when, due to the memes, I think Sony thought it'd be a good idea to put this back in theaters.
Yeah, they thought it only made $200,000.
Yeah,
or $2 0.5 Morb dollars.
Yeah. And yeah, because people on Twitter were like begging them, ironically, to put it back out for a second showing, because they all said they'd go watch it, and then nobody went and watched it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty funny. I think it's.
Yeah,
I really thought after the opening weekend this movie was going to make more money because, like I said, it made $90 million, and this is all domestically. You know, that's the thing that's kind of crazy about it. It's like, this movie made $90 million. So it had, like, people wanting to go see something, wanting to give it a shot. If this movie was worth a shit, this movie would have done a lot of business. Because, like I said, you had 90 million people. 90 Morbian people.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I gotta get this right.
It's a bit weird when you move to the United States of Morbius. Get the fucking currency down.
It sucks, man. I'm just trying to get that shit.
Yeah.
Box office. Yeah, well, hold on, I lied. Opening weekend. So this movie made it made a total of $90 million in other territories and gross $74 million in the United States and Canada. So that's where I was getting the 90.
Yeah.
But it made its opening weekend $39 million. And then, you know, it made like $10 million the next weekend because Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out. But like I said, he went from making $39 million to making $160. Like I said, I mean, if this was any other movie, if this wasn't a comic book movie, I think people would be surprised at how much money it made. But since it's a comic book movie and everybody expects, you know, $1 billion, it gets more ridicule. Unfortunately for Sony, they had plans, and Kevin Feige was even saying in interviews that there could potentially be a crossover between Blade, which is going to be coming out in the future for Marvel, and Morbius, because they do have crossovers in the comic books. And I think at the latest movie con or whatever it was, Sony, they announced Venom 3 was going to come out. But they didn't make any mention of Morbius. So Morbius might be sweeping underneath the rug. Supposedly they're still making that Bad Bunny, where he plays the Mexican professional wrestler who Spider-Man faced off with in the comic book one time. And they're making a Kraven the Hunter movie now. And they're making a Silver Sable and Black Cat movie, I still think. But who knows? They're supposedly making a Madam Web movie also. And the thing is, they're setting up this world of Madam Web and all these people because they're eventually going to take Spider-Man back. You know, once Disney gets tired of working this deal out where they're splitting money with Sony, Sony's going to want to take him back and just put him in their universe. You know? And, you know, another thing, right before this movie came out, Spider-Man No Way Home came out. And then everybody was clamoring for a Spider-Man 4 for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and they wanted more Tom Holland Spider-Man. And, you know, it's a wonderful thing, but I think that people don't realize, you know, you hate the fact that Sony made those movies. Everybody hated Spider-Man 3. Everyone hated The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And they just think like, oh man, they're just going to make another one that's going to be great because they enjoyed those Spider-Man. No, Sony's the one going to be making it. Disney's not going to make those two movies. Disney's going to make their Spider-Man 4. They're not going to make Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire and all that shit. So, you know, I think Sony, as long as they can work this deal with Marvel and Disney, I think they're going to continue to put Spider-Man in those movies. I think they're going to do another trilogy. But I think they want to cross over. I don't think Feige has a problem crossing over any with Venom because Venom's been successful. And Morbius is not. So, you know, Sony's got some issues. But like we talked about, I don't know if it made the podcast before we hung up accidentally before, but Sony's made like $1 billion more than Disney as an entire company last year.
More billion.
So, and that's just last year. So, let's go ahead. Okay, look, people. The plot of this movie is Jared Leto he's Michael Morbius. This movie it stars Jared Leto and Matt Smith, who I think a lot of people know as one of the Doctor Who's. I think he was Doctor Who, the one before the one now, I think.
Yeah.
He may have done it 10 years ago at this point. Time for me is a flat circle. Tyrese Gibson's in it, and other people I don't really recognize. No disrespect to them.
I know the Doctor. Is that Tyrese Wilson?
No, you just combined some names there, buddy. No, Tyrese Gibson's he's the African American cop.
Oh.
He's the guy from Fast and the Furious.
I know the Doctor guy because he's in The Terror. But that's it.
Who, Matt Smith?
That Irish doctor guy who's like their father figure or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that
the one that's like,
Jared Harris.
Michael.
He's like,
Shillelagh.
sweet Jesus,
Sweet
Michael,
Jesus."
why are you killing people?
Sweet Jesus.
Owen is really good at doing the Irish voice like that. It's just fucking incredible.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Okay, Cody, you can stop. I'll let Owen do it.
No.
I'm just kidding. Cody's like, this son of a bitch.
He's like, hey, I'm
Hang
trying.
up the phone.
Yeah. Beep, beep. Fuck.
But this movie is literally it shows a quick beginning sequence of Jared Leto's character Michael Morbius and a guy whose name is Lucian but is renamed Milo for some weird reason. And there it just shows them as moments because they have this rare blood disease.
But where's
and
Otis?
They have to walk with canes. Do what?
Where's Otis?
Yeah.
Milo and Otis.
He's around there somewhere.
Is Milo the dog or Milo the cat? And Otis is the dog.
Oh,
I
God,
don't
I
know.
can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that.
This Milo, Otis, which one's which, dude? What the fuck? Is it from? I know Milo and Otis, but when I search up Milo and Otis, it brings me to some Japanese movie.
No, Milo and Otis. It's a.
Yeah, that's
Milo's
right,
the cat.
The
Otis
Adventures
is the
of Milo.
dog.
The event.
Okay, so he plays.
Milo. And Otis.
Sorry, I'm looking something up on here too. Yeah, so Matt Smith plays a cat in this movie.
Wow, I didn't know this
Speaking
was
of
originally a
Catwoman.
Japanese film.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't know that. That's weird.
That's crazy. It's
but anyway,
sorry, real quick. It says Columbia
No, you go ahead,
Columbia
sorry.
Pictures removed 15 minutes from the original film and released a shorter English language version written by Mark Saltzman on August 25th, 1989. That is
really
crazy. Like
I
man,
had no idea.
That's really
Look.
weird.
Look, kids, you learned something today. Thanks to
Yeah.
old Papa C bringing up Milo and Otis.
Learned that Milo and Otis was originally a Japanese movie that got recut. That's weird.
So let me go ahead and get back to this plot real quick. So you see this moment where their disease is afflicting them. Milo has a episode where he like passes out because I guess he runs out of like circulation in his body. His heart stops pumping, and Morbius has to jumpstart the machine again. So Morbius goes to school, wins the Nobel Prize, and all this crap. Milo goes on to make a bunch of money off of Milo's tea.
Yeah.
And he's obviously very rich. And Morbius, like this whole movie is about Morbius trying to find a cure for his condition.
Yeah. For autism. He's dying. Oh, you got,
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
they're giving you COVID through the phone.
My God. Well, that's the end of the podcast, everybody. I can't talk that. No, but it's this whole movie is like Morbius experiments with vampire bats. The serum he creates fixes him, but makes him into a quote unquote living vampire. And the reason why Cody mentioned it before, Morbius is a living vampire, is because for a while in comics you couldn't go anything supernatural. Like I guess they want to keep things in extreme G-rated stuff. You couldn't have a super amount of violence. You could not have blood.
It'll
So he
spoil the
became a
children's
living vampire.
minds.
I know, but he was how do I put this? he was a living vampire, and his first debut was technically considered a magazine and not a comic book. So I think they could have got away with the blood in that comic book. Mm. But it's really weird. Like, the whole thing's just it's kind of cool, you know, because I watched some of the special features on the Blu-ray of Morbius. Yes, I bought the Blu-ray. And it's one of those things where, you know, there's an interesting history with Morbius. He does start out as a Spider-Man villain and becomes an anti-hero. He's a part of the Midnight Suns with Venom and Ghostface. Not as Ghostface. What the fuck is it? Knight Rider. God damn it. Ghost Rider.
Yeah, there you
go. I eventually got to it. So, you know, there's a whole thing, and then this whole movie, like, there's a filling out process with him finding his powers, and then there's another process where he gets thrown in jail because they think he killed this person, this nurse, and turns out his little brother Milo from the beginning of the movie, the guy made all the sweet tea Milo.
Yeah. And
he, you know, he becomes the bad guy, and everything moves kind of like a breakneck speed because there's some more story they cut out because they wanted to make it a quick movie. Because, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home was, you know, 2.5 hours. The Batman was 3 hours. That came out like a month before this. Even The Northman, which I made a joke because The Northman came out after this movie, is like almost 3 hours long, and this movie's only an hour and a half. But there's a big battle. Yeah. And Morbius wins. The chick he's with becomes a vampire, so they open up to that.
She bites.
They put in two.
She bites his little.
Like as poorly written this movie is, the bonus scenes are even more poorly written, and they felt like they were just thrown together.
I think we could do a lot of good.
Yeah, and you know, Michael Keaton's character Adrian Toomes, who's the Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming, he comes into this universe, but it doesn't explain why he came to this universe. I think they were kind of going with...
Why does Morbius suddenly want to team up with him? Either.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it's a quickly thrown together. The idea, like I was watching somebody review this, the idea of this happening, of them bringing this into the movie, of bringing Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton in the movie, is a great idea. But it was the worst way. You know, it's like those videos when people are drunk and they're throwing darts and somebody says, "Hey, put your hand right there." And I'm going to get between your fingers, and they literally land on the dude's hand. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like with this movie and those scenes. Like, those scenes are just fucking not good.
Yeah, it's fucked.
And I wish it was better. Like I said, and Adrian Toomes doesn't even feel like the Adrian Toomes in that movie. But I think it's because the way they're piss poor way they're going to put this in there is like the whole Doctor Strange thing. It could have displaced some people in that universe into other universes, and since everybody doesn't remember who Spider-Man is, maybe that's why he's more of an asshole. Who knows? That's my head canon of like, oh, how could this work? But they're probably gonna have an even dumber reason for not making it work. But it's a very it's a stereotypical middle of the road movie. The CGI in this movie is not bad, in my opinion. I like the way Morbius looks. He looks very comic book accurate. I would say he looks better than the Joker in the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. Let's see what else. You know, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys.
There's one issue. I have a big issue.
Just one issue? Okay. Just one issue.
All right. Cool. This is my one issue that the only issue I had. So there's a sequence in this movie where they're at like a coffee shop diner or some shit.
And, not that kind of vampire.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's after there's these guys who pay the lady with like fake hundreds. Uh-huh. And this entire sequence is just completely fucked in my perspective because, all right, so he overhears them giving this lady the fake $100 bills, right? And he's having a conversation with his girlfriend, and he pauses and looks off while he's listening to these guys give this waitress, the fake hundreds. And he hears them say like, "Yeah, you take these fake hundreds." He's like, "Yeah, the ink's a lot better than last time," and so. You think he's gonna like follow them to kick their ass, right? Okay, so he follows them, and then he takes a stop. Shit, I forget what he does. What does he do before he gets to that?
No, he makes a lot of bad jokes. He goes, "Is this where the guy comes in with the hoodie?"
No. Before that, it's before he even starts trailing them. He does something after he leaves the diner, like something completely different.
I don't remember, man. I just remember him putting his hood up and he's just following the people.
Okay. I know for a fact he does something like completely different that makes you think that like the movie just forgot about the guys giving the fake hundreds, and then suddenly he's trailing the fake $100 bill guys again, and you're thinking like, okay, yeah, he's gonna kick their asses.
I think you might be placing something else in your mind because this movie runs together. Because I did watch it twice and I don't remember that. I just remember him following. It's very disjointed. Like he follows. It feels like. It's just like right across the street when he's following them. Like, hey, this is their hideout right there.
Maybe I swear and he like picks something up or he goes to fucking do something.
Well, he's listening to the keys. Like they have keys.
Yeah, they have the keys jingling. Yeah, I know he's following them with that.
He's listening to that.
Echolocation their asses. But his reasoning for following them is because they have, for some reason, these punks who like pay with fake dollar bills have this super secret tech labs that he knew that they just had, I guess. For some reason, they have like a fucking secret lab where he can do blood experiments on, even though they're just like assholes who pay with fake $100 bills.
Yeah, the funny thing about that, like the way you're talking about that, is he's following them like he knows that they have a big laboratory.
Yeah,
he's at laboratory.
That's like,
but they say nothing about the laboratory until he's following them halfway down the street.
Yeah, they say. The ink is good. Fucking, that's all they say. And suddenly he's like, oh, they must have a big secret fucking futuristic laboratory. I gotta follow them to it.
Well, you gotta remember he's a genius. He fixed a medical machine by replacing a busted fuse with a
he saw a fuse and he swapped
it with a spring.
Yeah, it's like, my God, you're a fucking genius.
He is he's it's this movie, man. I swear. I really wanted this movie to be good. It's not.
Sorry to. Nah,
no, keep going.
The funniest thing about his setup to him being a genius and what Cody said there is like, it's like if you like replace it's like if you replace something on like an Xbox or something. And it's like it took a team of designers $1,000 and a crack team of designers
that's at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just commenting on it because I forgot about the sequence.
Yeah. For some reason, I zoned out for a minute. I thought you said that took place before he was following the keys like a dog.
Nah, I can't remember what happens before there. I swear something happened.
Can we imagine? Real quick question. Let me ask you something. Okay, he's listening to the keys jingling.
Yeah,
and he's following them. But what if we did it and he had dog powers? Because dogs would follow keys too.
Yeah, he's like a baby. He started.
The dog's like, my owner's going that way. Oh, squirrel.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the keys again.
I love how shit. I forget what I was gonna say, but yeah, he's like a baby. He just loves jingling keys. No, imagine. So me and Lance worked together, or worked past tense at a.
Okay, geez, man, you make it sound like I'm dead.
Yeah, rest in peace. But we
R.I.P.
We worked together at a retail store, so we got a lot of people who gave us fake bills. Imagine if like you just got the inkling to like trail one of those people that gave us a like fake 100. You fucking go back to their place. They got like a super secret laboratory. They're like fucking evil scientists.
That would be hilarious. But you know what's even funnier is, oh shit. What's even funnier about that is, fuck, this is irritating for me.
What's up?
The thing that's irritating about that part is, so I got distracted while I was on TV real quick. No, and I was also trying to remember, when you have a fake $100 bill or $20 bill or $50 bill, the marker doesn't just mark the bill and nothing happens. It comes up a funky color.
Yeah, it comes up an incorrect color.
If it's good, it's like kind of like a light brown color. If it's not good, it's like really fucking dark. That's how you know it's fake.
Yeah.
She literally used a marker on the $100 bills and nothing was on.
It's like a magic ink marker. She's like, oh, nothing's coming up.
And there's another scene when he's on the boat and he's killing those people. Like, he goes and cuts this dude's throat, and you hear blood squirting, and the dude acts like there's blood squirting, but there's no blood coming out of his throat.
I didn't notice that. That's really
It's fucking... Somebody pointed it out on a review one time. I'm like, oh shit, I had no idea. But it's just like I said, Sony, I don't think Sony cared about that movie. You know, they had all that success with Spider-Man No Way Home. And they had to make so many changes because this movie originally was supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home, but COVID delayed it. This movie was filmed in like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to come out in 2020 before Venom 2, and then it got delayed to after Venom 2. So they had to change so much about this movie to fit, okay, this is after Venom. Okay, now it's after Spider-Man. Disney doesn't want any Spider-Man stuff in this movie. Okay, let's change everything. So I think at this point they released it, they just didn't care because they made $500 million off of Venom. They made almost $2 billion off of Spider-Man. They're like, shit, who cares?
Yeah, they said fuck it.
Send this and they still made their money back because even if the movie was $75 million and they spent that much in marketing, which I don't think so, they made $160 million, so they made a profit. If they spent $83 billion, if they spent 83 Morbin dollars,
yeah,
I think that it wouldn't have. I think it still would have made a profit because it made 165, 167 or some shit like that. Let me look it up real quick one more time because it bothers me. What the fuck? Well, I'm on the Rocks page. Morbius. My little butthole. I just pooped my pants.
Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius made $167.5 million. So if the budget was 83, if you times that by 2, that's 66? No. I don't know what the fuck I was saying. Yeah, it's 166. 166 million. So they still made a profit off this movie by like 1.5 million. So the joke's on the internet. Damn it, man. This movie, I wanted it to be good. It's a vampire movie. I like the Morbius character in the Spider-Man cartoon. I thought he was cool looking. I didn't, understand the whole suckers and plasma shit because when that fucking shit came out, I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
So, I wanted this movie to be good, but I got 2 pretty enjoyable Venom movies, so I'm pretty happy. I think the third one will still be enjoyable. And I'm glad we got a Morbius movie. I thought he was very comic book accurate. Unfortunately, there was no substance behind the writing and the intent of this movie. Like I was talking off recording. I'll go ahead and mention it now. There's quite a few musical keys in this movie, musical pieces that they play. I think it's the same piece. When he gets into like this little wind tunnel with all these vampire bats, they play this music. And it's straight up music they ripped off from the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, I think
like
it goes something like
That's exactly what it is.
He's like, sir, fucking tequila.
But he ended up, they ended up doing that, and it's like, so there's a lot of allusions to Batman Begins. Like they kind of ripped this off, and it's funny because this movie came out 17 years later. And this is like the last movie that Batman Begins is going to like influence probably. But yeah, it's just kind of disappointing. I'll go to Cody in just a minute. I'm very curious to see what Owen says, like overall with this movie, because Owen will be like, I don't want to shit on this movie because Owen's more quiet than us. So let's Owen's talk, and I'll let Cody finish it off with his little ice cream sundae.
Let's let him talk for a little bit. Yeah, this movie's just boring. There's not really a whole lot going on with it. I think the memes and even how we're talking about it in this make it seem like it's funnier or like more entertaining than it really is, but it's not really. It's by the numbers. It's plain. It doesn't do anything with the characters. It doesn't do anything you really haven't seen before all that much out of like any other superhero movie. And yeah, it's just, I don't know.
It's not ambitious.
Yeah, it's what we said earlier. There's just not a lot of meat to this. There's no character development. There's no arcs really. Like the characters don't really. Morbius doesn't even have an arc. He doesn't. Like, there's no changes he has. He's just like, okay. I don't know. It's just
very paper.
Yes, there's nothing going on with this movie really. It's not as bad as like everybody I think says it was, but fuck, it's just boring. That's really all you can say.
Before I turn this over to Cody to finish this off, I heard a story a couple times, and it was Stone Cold Steve Austin before he became Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was wrestling in what they called the Memphis territory, which was the Tennessee territory at the time. And Dutch Mantell is the guy who tells the story, and Steve has said the story. Steve's real name was Steve Williams. And Dutch came up to him and said, it's like, all right, what's your name, kid? We got to call you a name. He goes, Steve Williams. He goes, well, we can't call you that. He goes, why in the hell not? He goes, because we already got a Dr. Death, Steve Williams. We don't need two Steve Williams. Come up with a name and I'll come back to you. And he came around. He was booking the show, so this is like over the course of like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And he came around him twice. He goes, do you have a name? He goes, no. And he goes, okay, we'll call you Steve Austin. And then Steve goes, well, like the $6 million man, Steve Austin? He goes, well, like you're like the $6 man. Okay, so get out there and do your match. So when Steve comes back and does his match, he asks Dutch, he goes, all right, what did you not like about my match? Just like, critiquing, asking for advice so it could get better. And Dutch goes, well, I think I should tell you what I liked about the match because that's the shorter list. And I feel like with this movie, we could tell you what we liked about it, and that would be the shortest list of this movie. Because it's like, there's so much to hate on this movie. Like, legitimately hate. But I still would watch over Twilight.
Hate me today. Hate
I would watch this over Underworld 2. Any of the new Underworld movies that's come out. And the only Underworld movies I like is Underworld 1 and Rise of Lycans, which is the third one.
I would watch Blood Rain.
Anyway, Cody.
This. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know which one's Blood Rain.
Blood Rain is like considered one of the worst movies of all time.
Is it by Uwe Boll?
Yes, it is, and I think it has like a single digit percentage on Rotten Tomatoes. It may
This
actually
postal
have a 0.
movie is apparently kind of funny.
But my overall thoughts about Morbius is I think the movie is slightly below fine. Like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's just absolutely awful by any means, but again, there's like the pacing is bad just because it does feel like a bunch of stuff was cut out of it that should have probably been left in.
It's not unwatchable.
Yeah, the special effects I think are fantastic in this film, but it's just that so much of the plot has been removed from it very clearly that it drags the film down. I don't know. It's definitely not the worst comic book movie or anywhere near it. I mean, Catwoman is still the worst comic book movie of all time. And I mean, just
well, what about Fantastic Four 2015?
I've never seen that.
I've heard that one's really bad too. Like, that one's got shit on a lot.
But I'm not really a Fantastic Four fan. So I think they're probably like the most boring group of heroes ever.
Hey, wait till you see the Sinister Six movie. Calm down, okay?
Calm down.
Well, it's just like you got a guy who can stretch, a woman who can turn invisible, a man who can set himself on fire, and a guy that's made out of bricks.
Yeah,
so
it's
hey man, look, let's be completely honest with you. That's like the stages of love right there. Yeah. A guy wants to stretch out his dick so it's big enough for the lady. Mm-hmm.
She wants to turn invisible to avoid the man.
Well, he wants her to turn invisible to avoid her.
Yeah, after he's done.
He turns rock. He turns rock when he takes his blue chew.
He's all bricked up.
When he gets older in life. Yeah, and then he turns on fire when he wants to just burn to death.
Then his urethra's on fire when he gets an STD.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
After he's all bricked up.
The recommendations. Owen, would you recommend Morbius?
Nah, probably not.
Okay. Cody, would you recommend Morbius?
No, I can't recommend it. It's not good enough for my recommendation.
It's not morbed up enough.
I am going to 100% recommend this movie.
Maybe if you wake up with a
it-
raging case of Morbin wood, you should watch it.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So you might want to be careful. You might want to call your lady friend or male friend to come over.
Give her some of the
Give you some
morb.
Morbin wood.
Yeah, give her the morb.
Wake up in the morning, check your pants, give her a call, say, "Hey, it's Morbin time."
But yeah, I would recommend this movie for one watch because I do think there are people out there that might enjoy it. There's going to be a bunch of people that will laugh at the movie because it's so bad. But I still enjoy it. And I told Cody and Owen I was going to end off with a hot take because Robert Eggers is going to... He's making Nosferatu now, hopefully. I know that's his next movie. When that movie comes out, based off his box office success, I will say that Morbius will have made more money than all 4 of Robert Eggers' movies put together.
Yeah.
And it will dwarf what Nosferatu makes at the box office, in my opinion.
That's not a hot take.
It's
That's just a fact.
It's fucking fact, bro.
It's just a fucking true fact.
I do want to watch like more vampire movies now after watching this movie. Like it gets me because I haven't had like I've had a funk where I just don't want to watch anything. I'll come home and like I'm playing Madden again on a franchise with Jacob. I'll do that and then I'll just like put on TV. I just don't want to put in the effort to like I don't even know what I want to watch. Like I have all these fucking movies and before that I was watching nothing but comic book movies and I just can't get back into that. And even during the Halloween season, you know, I didn't even get a chance. I was going to watch all the Halloween movies again before Halloween ends. I just didn't have the desire to. And I mean, I love all those Halloween Friday the 13th movies, and I didn't watch a fucking one this Halloween season. I'm just like, I just have no desire. So I thank you, Morbius. You gave me a desire to watch something.
Finally.
So, you know.
All right, so I guess let's get to
what's our next movie?
Yeah, so it's Owen's pick.
Oh yeah, it is my pick, ain't it? Shit. I don't know. Fuck.
Well, what time will this be coming out, Cody?
What?
What time will this episode be coming out? In case he needs he can pick something that might be around the time.
I don't know, like a month and a half from now.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to. I don't want to sit there and like make him like he picked something like there was a holiday there that he could have.
No.
The movie
I mean,
on.
the only holiday that would even be remotely around it is like Valentine's, but
Okay.
that's not really something we.
I don't remember what I said before. I think I wanted to watch
before you said,
Chinatown.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what you said before.
I was kind
What
of
movie?
slow. It's Chinatown. It's Jack Nicholson is starring in it. It's like a film noir movie.
Okay.
It's like
Have you guys? Oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good.
You
Go ahead.
Sorry, No, I just had a question. No, it was a question not anywhere remote related to that movie. It was about Big Trouble in Little China, the Kurt Russell movie. Like, has anybody watched that movie? I've never watched those movies.
I've never
John
seen
Carpenter movies.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay. That may be something I might want to pick because I know one of them is shitty.
Yeah.
But one of them is a really good movie, and it's John Carpenter directed them, and they based Raiden from Mortal Kombat off of somebody from one of those movies.
Shit, maybe
so.
I'll pick
Mortal
Big
Kombat.
Trouble in Little China.
Oh, I mean, it's totally up to you. I was just curious when you said Chinatown. I'm like, wait, is that the same thing? I got confused, so it didn't matter. We should watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
So
We should watch The Mummy Returns.
Yeah.
With The Rock and his terrible... Okay, you want to look at bad CGI? Look at the Scorpion King and The Mummy Returns and Morbius. And it's 100%.
PS1 graphics fucked up.
yeah.
PS1 graphics trying to load.
He does straight up look like a PS2 character model.
Yeah. They got him from God of War.
That
fucking first
that
one.
shit just... It fucking, like, baffles me because, like, 4 years before that, Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out, which is a terrible movie. But Motaro is a 4-legged dude. Like, he's got the horse legs and he's got the human torso. He looks awesome. Like, the CGI they used for him looked great, and the costume he had looked awesome. And then 4 years later, you have The Rock, who's half Scorpion, half The Rock. And it looks like a PS2 character. Like, it doesn't remotely look anything like The Rock as a human. I'm like, there was nothing on The Rock either except claws. Like, he didn't. It doesn't make any sense to me. I remember I was so excited for that movie. Like, I got the VHS at the time, and I watched it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is terrible.
So I know, like, I've been going back and forth a little bit on whether or not I still want to do Mars Attacks, and I think I've decided I am going to do Mars Attacks.
Okay, Mars Attacks. Who's in that movie again?
Jack Nicholson is the only one I remember off the top of my head.
Hell yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, the next movie I do will have. It has to be Jack Nicholson. If we're doing like 2 back-to-back Jack Nicholson movies.
Well, what's let me look at the runtime for fucking 99 minutes. But Chinatown. I just love Chinatown. Okay. I just love movies about China. It is.
Oh, I will say, speaking of China, watching A Christmas Story at the end, there is like a scene. It's like, ooh, this is rough today.
It aged really well, actually.
You know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. We ain't got to go into it.
Yeah, whenever it popped up, I audibly was like, "Oh, oof, this is not good."
You know what's weird in that movie? I never will understand it. When he cooks the turkey, okay, and the dad is so obsessed with eating this turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who, I'm kind of lukewarm on turkey in general. It's not like a thing I love. It's not a thing I hate. It's kind of like Morbius to me.
Uh-huh.
And he is like, I'm going to eat this turkey. And she goes, his wife, the kid's mom yells out, don't eat that turkey. You'll get worms. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Yeah, I guess because it wasn't cooked all the way. Like she took it out of the oven to put it back in the oven for some reason.
Could you imagine, like, and this used to be a thing, obviously before they had like more medicine in like the 80s and 70s and stuff like that. But you know, people used to get worms like that when they crap.
Yeah, me too.
It's like if your dog eats his fleas.
Let's
do what, Cody?
Let's wrap this up.
No, I'm just saying. Could you imagine like wiping your butt and be like, "Oh, what is this? Oh, what the hell is that? It looks like a nightcrawler."
Well, you got to put it back into its ecosystem, so you just slurp it back up.
Yeah, here you go, little
God.
buddy. I don't know. I'll probably do I think I'm gonna do Big Trouble in Little China. It's only an hour and 30, so I'll do that.
How long is Chinatown?
2 hours long.
Okay, yeah, let's do Big Trouble in Little China.
No,
okay, real quick, look up that one and look at the Rotten Tomatoes versus Big Trouble in L.A. because I can't remember which one's the first one.
Big Trouble in L.A. is probably the shit. Big Trouble in Little China is the first one. Big Trouble in L.A. is the one that is shitty.
Okay, I just couldn't remember. I didn't want to steer us wrong on that. I'm excited to watch it because I've never seen it.
I don't think there is a Big Trouble in L.A. I think you're thinking of Escape to L.A. Escape to
LA,
thinking Escape to New York and Escape from New York.
Oh yeah, I am.
Yeah, I've seen Escape from LA. That shit is bad, but I've never seen Escape from New York, and that's the only one I actually want to see.
There's a Big Trouble in Seattle.
Yeah, Big Trouble in my.
There's a Big Trouble in Kansas City.
Big Trouble in my fucking pants, dude. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah,
okay. So Big Trouble is Big Trouble in Little China. So this is a John Carpenter thing, but he did all the Escape movies too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Interesting.
So I guess our next two movies are going to be Big Trouble in Little China and then Mars Attacks.
And then my next movie is going to be Wolf.
Yeah,
Wolf.
It's a werewolf movie with Jack Nicholson.
Baby, I'm praying on you tonight.
What the fuck?
Jack
All right, everybody. Like I said, people, go ahead and watch Morbius.
Love Morbius.
Let us know what you think. If you don't want to watch Morbius, watch Morbius.
Yeah. If you don't want to watch Morbius, then remove yourself from this fucking society.
And remember,
let me tell you something, people. If you're going to pick two things to watch, The Book of Boba Fett or Morbius, watch Morbius.
Yeah.
All right. And remember, if you like this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends. And
another thing, if you don't like this episode or you don't like our show, let us fucking know so we can change something.
Yeah, let us more about to us.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you know, take a minute to rate or review us or whatever on whatever podcast service you're listening to. That way, we can get a general idea of how well we're doing. So, but anyway.
Yeah, because I can only rate so many times.
Yeah,
that almost sounded really bad.
We can only.
I almost like flubbed up the T and rate. I'm like,
all right. See you, everybody. Let's get out of here.
Bye, everybody.
And on that note.